Welcome to episode 138 of the Twim Show. This is your host Chazid Islam, and today I'll be going over the notable news and updates in the digital marketing space from the week of December 5th through 9th. This was a relatively short and quiet week. I mean, I shouldn't say short, it still had 5 working days, but it was quite a, quiet week, not too many updates, but nevertheless there are quite a few updates, 5 or 6 updates that I think you really need to hear about. So off we go. First up, on Microsoft Ads have announced that auto-generated remarketing list is now available for 3 types of list. They are like all visitors, all converters, and smart marketing lists. Now, again, what is remarketing list? Remarketing list is basically building a list of audiences or visitors who have, been to your site or taken a certain action, and then you put them in a bucket, and then you could probably market them back. Not probably, you market this your ads, or show your ads to this group of people in the future date. So this is similar to what Google already has. So this isn't really nothing groundbreaking. It's just good to see that Microsoft is adding it into it. Now, for smart remarketing list, this is where Microsoft is playing a little bit of, the artificial intelligence, algorithm, data, whatever you call it, and over here, data analysis, things like that. Because what they're saying is that, they basically go out, and the first two we know, all visitors, people who have been to your site in the last 30 days, all converters, people, list of users who have converted in the last 180 days, that's 6 months. Now, based on that profile, basically Microsoft is going to go ahead and build a list of users similar to ones who have already converted, and kind of show your ads to them. This is again powered by Microsoft Audience Intelligence, so you kind of know what it is all about by now. If you're in the Microsoft ad space, go ahead and give it a try. You might be able to tell us more whether it works or not. Next up, we have Microsoft Ads now allows you to attach flyers to your Microsoft Ads. So what this basically means that through flyer extension, you are able to show images of your flyers next to your text ads. I kind of like it, if you ask me, and I hope Google copies them as well, because this is going to be an amazing feature. Obviously, you can have up to 5 flyer extensions. Not obviously, you can have up to 5 flyer extensions, and the system will uniformly keep them in rotation. But can you imagine how good this is? You see an ad, you see text ads. Now you can click next to it, so it's like a mix of Instagram / Google ads, text ads. Now the only caveat is that you need to have very good, compelling, flyers. Next up, let's go into LinkedIn world. This is in the LinkedIn Analytics. LinkedIn has announced new features which gives you more insights and actionable data into your top performing posts and followers. So these are 3 updates. Number 1, they have this thing called the follower growth over time feature that tracks your follower growth over time. Per LinkedIn, you can use this data to find out what is sparking growth in followers. For example, you may find your LinkedIn follower spikes every time you have a speaking gig or you are on stage. Next up is the demographic details underneath the followers growth in sections. In the audience tab, the demographic section summarizes your follower base, listing job titles, location, industry, seniority, company size, company names. Again, this data can provide a deeper understanding of the audience you are creating content for, which can help you create more successful posts. Alternatively, you may find you're not attracting the intended audience, which is assigned to adjust your content strategy. Lastly, the top performing post feature allows you to see up to 3 of your top performing posts in the post tabs. Top posts are ranked either by impressions or interactions over a selected date range. This data will offer insight into what content resonates with your audience, so you can identify and share more of what's working. Now, this is a feature that I have used in Facebook, and we have looked into it, but at a certain point, it allows you to see at a 30,000 foot level, but it's Maybe we just didn't understand that we got overwhelmed is what I would say, because there could be variety of reasons that a content is going, but it's a good thing. But I wouldn't really focus so much on the top post. I would probably look at the top two and kind of see, am I attracting the right people into my post, into my things, versus looking at top performing posts, because that could slide. Maybe Facebook had a faulty analytics system, which we all know at some point that they do. Okay, next up, LinkedIn ads have announced group identity, where they're claiming they can help you to leverage AI and put your ads in front of the B2B groups, B2B decision makers. Now, in B2B space, especially in mid to large companies, there are multiple people who makes a decision to purchase a software, purchase a product, because obviously there are so many departments, so many roles, and LinkedIn is saying, look, it's kind of fragmented, and up until now, what you have been doing is you're showing like ads to a certain demographic, a certain role, certain things. However, that kind of hits, and that's a hit or a miss thing. We have this thing called group identity, and we use first party and zero party data. And we can make sure that ads are shown to the buying committees and help you convert more. Now, this was obviously a feature that was in beta last year. They tested it last year, and apparently during the testing phase, they saw about 37% average higher click-through rate on group delivered campaigns across channels. Now, that's a higher click-through rate. How many of them did they convert is my question, right? So again, LinkedIn is asking you to put a lot more trust and more money into LinkedIn's pocket so that their AI algorithms can do this thing for you. Whether it's really beneficial or not, you have to try it out. I frankly am a bit of a how would I say, skeptical when it comes to algorithms, just because unless you have a lot of budget, enough money, and enough firepower to kind of feed the machine and get enough data points very quickly, you are just going to be in a slow burn rate, and you just kind of don't really find that magic formula very quickly. But hey, it might work for you. Give it a try. But I feel like this is something will probably evolve over time, and you may want to experiment with it, but not really go full in. Next up, Google rolls out the December 2022 helpful content systems update. Now, this is something, what is a system update and what is a, update itself was all covered in episode 136, 2 episodes back. So give that a listen, or read the show notes if you haven't. But on December 5th, Google has announced that helpful content system update has begun and will take about 2 weeks to complete. What does this algorithm does? Well, if the name resonates, helpful content update, it's basically trying to go find sites and content that are written for SEO, not for humans. Right, a lot of bad people out there who have created content because that will help them their content to rank higher because they game the system. I mean, this is kind of the gray hat. There's a black hat SEO, gray hat SEO, and white hat SEO. So this is kind of whitish, grayish area of the SEO where they said, this is not illegal. We're gonna use something like Jarvis. Actually, they changed the name Jarvis, right? Because of lawsuits. Jasper.ai, or one of those machines to write content, churn out content and put it on our website, because it's going to get content out there. Google is going to index it and send it out. If you had anything of that sort, you're going to get hit by this, right? That's all I will say, that before one, create helpful content, create content that that follows the EAT model, which is what Google is pushing: expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And lastly, for this week, per Google, you should avoid HTML sitemaps. What are HTML sitemaps? HTML sitemaps is a file that lists every page on your website. If you, this is designed to make navigation easier for your visitors. Normally, you will find this sitemap in the website's footer where everyone can access it. This is different from XML sitemap. XML sitemaps are basically meant more for crawlers, robots such as Google Robot, Google Crawler, bots, whatever you call them, so that when it comes to your website, it kind of gets a map of where content is on your website, how they branch, and things like that. Now, John Mueller of Google wrote recently or this week is that, look, HTML sitemap should never be used. Sites small and large should always have a clear navigational structure. If you feel the need for an HTML sitemap, then go ahead and spend the time improving your site architecture instead, rather than, spending resources, time, money, and opportunities in HTML sitemaps. Now, a lot of old school SEO people are gonna push, HTML sitemaps, and I don't blame them. Here's why. Back in, I think, 2005 and up until 2009, Google used to encourage HTML sitemaps, right? In fact, there is a Google Search Central blog post from September 2005 that says we encourage site owners to create HTML sitemaps. Then in 2009, Matt Curtis from Google shared that over during an office hour video that, hey, Matt Curtis personally prefers HTML sitemaps over XML sitemaps. So obviously this kind of went out, but fast forward 2016, John Mueller of Google search advocate, came out and says, HTML sitemaps are a drain on resources for SEO purposes. So go ahead and stop doing that and focus more on building a better website. He repeated the same thing in 2019, and now it's 2022 and he's repeating again. So, folks, listen, just go ahead and avoid HTML sitemaps. Save the money, save the resources, focus it on building a better website that you will have better navigations and get your issues resolved. Hope that helps, folks. That's it for this week in marketing. Tune again next week and we'll see what happens in the digital marketing space. Take care. Bye-bye.